Hello, everyone. Welcome back, bosses, to yet another episode of Society of Bosses. I'm your host, Taisha Essie, and what our job is to inspire and to transform entrepreneurs through real, true life case studies. So today, as you know, today is February the 11th, and we're in Black History Month. So to give credit to the episode that we have today, which is called "Is Your Pipe Dream Attainable?" I would like to read a quote by Langston Hughes. Here we go. So, what happens to a dream deferred? Does it dry up like a raisin in the sun, or does it explode? Langston Hughes. So, I do want you to take that quote and to, hold it and ponder on it as we go through this interview today. I also want you to take out your pens, take out your notebooks, and jot a lot of things down because today we're talking about dreams. Today we're going to watch our interviewee as, he explained how he became an entrepreneur, how he became a husband, a father, and how he became a reputable actor, and just to be, just to be an inspiration to other people. So I hope that you are able to take this interview and that you are able to learn a lot from it. So without further ado, I am bringing on Dale Olatogan. He is an author, an actor, and a founder of a nonprofit called GPA. So he's coming to the stage right now. Do you see him?
What's up? What's up?
Hey,
What up?
Dale, thank you for joining us. We're so happy to have you on our platform. So much that, we believe that you can inspire. We know that you're inspiring children on a regular as well as adults. But we know from, this platform, you'll be able to reach so many. So thank you once again for joining.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate you.
So how's your day going today?
My day is good. My day is good. Right now the kids are asleep, so the day is pretty much over. Once they go to bed, that's when I can actually get some work done.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
most entrepreneurs, right? It's
the day is just getting started.
the day is just getting started.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, well, I know on another topic, I know that we talk about, fatigue a lot and how, a lot of entrepreneurs have to, deal with that on a normal basis.
hmm
So let's jump right into it. Can you tell our audience who are you,
Who am I?
and where are
Okay.
you from?
Who am I? I think okay. I can start with where I'm from. That's easier.
Okay.
I
Oh,
am.
we see it on a hat,
You
actually.
see it all the time, all the time. I was born in Nigeria, first and
Yes.
foremost. I was born in Nigeria, raised in Far Rockaway, Queens, New York. So yeah, that's where I'm from. I'm from Nigeria and Far Rockaway. Who am I? Whew, I am a husband. I'm a father. I'm a now an author. I'm an actor. I'm a entrepreneur. Yeah, all of those good things. That's who I am. But on top of all that, I think too, I'm a giver. That's
Giver.
yeah, that's something just in my essence. I've always enjoyed being a blessing to somebody, whether it's monetary or encouragement or support or just physically being there. I like to give.
Yeah. I think by us giving out and pouring into people and giving to people that it comes back to us tenfold.
Always. Oh,
Always. I definitely agree with that. So, did you always know that this is we getting right into it?
let's
So
go. Let's
we
jump.
know that you started out saying that you're an actor,
Yeah.
you are now an author, and we're going to talk all about the book.
Okay.
Um, but did you always know that this is who you become? That you'll become a husband, a father, that you'll be well versed, an actor,
Right.
entrepreneur, a founder of a wonderful organization?
Absolutely not.
No.
I didn't know. The only thing I could say I always knew I would be was a husband. Like I kind of knew that early on that I'm a passionate person. I'm an intimate person. So I knew ultimately I'd get married. I just didn't know how the pieces will flow together.
Right.
I thought I would be, you know, living my Hollywood dreams by the time I got married and stuff like that. So I didn't even know I'd get married at the time that I did. Yeah, everything about me, the actor, I didn't know I was going to be an actor until my freshman year in college. And this story, I'll always tell it. I needed one more class to fill up my schedule to become a full-time student. And most of the classes, because, you know, I have a late registration story, most of the classes were full already. So I was scrambling trying to find a class to fill up my schedule. And on my way to the registration building, I had this open vision. It was really weird. Open vision. It was Denzel Washington on the red carpet. He was being interviewed. So maybe he was going to an award show or whatever. Um, but instead of it was Denzel, it wasn't Denzel. It was symbolically him, but it was me. It was
Ooh.
watching it, but I was watching myself. So that was like kind of foreshadowing what I was to become. So when I snapped out of it, came back to reality, it was like acting. Was that like a sign, God, for me to, you know, take an acting class? It was so random, so weird. I've never experienced anything like that in my life. It was an out of body experience. So
Wow.
went in there, I was like, all right, most of these classes have been full anyway. If I'm supposed to go into acting, that class would be open. It'll be available. Lo
Right.
and behold, registered, went into acting 101. There was
Right.
a seat available, and I registered for the class, and that's how I got into acting. Even still, I was just like, I'm gonna try it out. Not quite sure. When I started, man, I mean, I started doing monologues. I started doing plays. I started being casted for stuff. At the end of that first semester, my professor came to me. She said, Dale, if you don't pursue this, you're crazy. You need to pursue this. I don't tell this to students all the time. You need to pursue this. So she put the battery in my back. I was like, cool, I like it, I love it. I was bit by the acting bug, as they call it, and I moved out to California, and you know the rest is history. That's how I got into acting. Um,
Right. So can you tell the audience some places that you actually showed up where they
yeah,
could find you?
yeah, of course. Right now, if you look on Amazon Prime, it started on Netflix. They took it off Netflix. I was on a film called Freedom, starring Cuba Gooding Jr. It was a slave piece. It was given like insiders' view of the Underground Railroad, how the Underground Railroad, you know, got started and whatnot. So that was an honor to be in that in that film. It's called Freedom. It's on Amazon Prime. I was on the Oprah Winfrey Network. A show called Unfaithful. I was actually the lead. That was like my first lead on television on OWN Network. I played the role of Mike Hunt, a cheating husband. It was reenactment, some real life stories.
Yeah.
That was fun. I've been on the ID channel,
Yes.
Investigation Discovery. Um, why am I forgetting the name of the show? I Am Homicide was the name of
Yes.
the show. I played a suspect in a murder. So those are the things off the top of my head that
Yeah. I've seen that.
bunch of theater stuff. Yeah,
Yeah. That's so awesome.
thank you.
That's
Thank
so
you.
awesome. A lot of times people have, acting dreams and, you know, they want to do something more with it, but they don't know where to start. Or,
Right,
sometimes they are also given an epiphany or a vision from God, and, they don't actually embark on it as soon as they do. So
right.
kudos to you for actually jumping on that,
Thank you.
immediately.
Thank you. Appreciate
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so let's jump into GPA.
it. Okay.
You are the founder of an organization called the Gifted and Purpose Alliance
Yes.
Incorporated.
Incorporate.
Um,
Forget
that's
that.
right. Tell us a little bit about that.
GPA is a arts-based youth development program that I started to help young people identify their gifts and talents so they can pursue a career doing what they love, making money doing what you love. That is GPA in a nutshell. That's the goal. That's the mission. What we do is I go into high schools and middle schools, and I have these conversations. Whether it's lectures, whether it's roundtable conversations. Just teaching certain principles on how to make a living doing what you love, regardless of what it is. As me, I'm a creative. I'm an artist, but there are a lot of students I come in contact with. They are, in the medical field. They want to be in law. They want to be in business. Whatever you tell me you want to do, if you follow these principles, which we'll talk about later, you can create a pipeline towards your own success. So that's what I do with GPI. I help young people find their thing, whatever your thing is, whether
Right.
it's singing or whether it's being on the operating table, healing lives, whatever. You can make a living doing that. Life is more than just surviving. You can thrive off the things that you love to do. So that is GPA in a
And
nutshell.
how did you fall into that? How did you get the
Woo!
vision for that?
Okay, so here comes another vision. I was on my grind in LA. I was living in the back of my 95 Lexus. And I one night I choose fancy neighborhoods to park in. I wasn't in Compton, I wasn't parking in Crenshaw, none of that. I was in the uppity areas. So I was in Sherman Oaks one night and I parked my car, and it was just one of those nights. Let me just say this: living in my car was one of the best experiences for me because I really got to be still, be silent, meditate, pray. That's when me and God became, like this.
Yeah.
So one night I had the AC on, I'm playing 90s R&B music, I'm just ready to go to bed, and I couldn't sleep. I had this vision of me being in a classroom, talking to students. Like I didn't know what I was talking about. Like it wasn't audible. I couldn't hear anything. I just saw me like this, just talking. And the essence of it was me pushing young people to do what they love doing. Because I didn't want them to experience what I was experiencing. I didn't want them experiencing having to live in your car. It's one thing to see that stuff on TV because you know the end result. There's always a triumphant ending, to it on TV. But in real life, I wouldn't wish that on anybody. It's really, really hard. It's a tough road. So, the vision was showing me how to help young people avoid some of the struggles I experienced and create a pipeline for them to, here goes the word again, create a pipeline for them to, pursue their passions and profit off of their passions. And that was the vision. I didn't have a name for it. I didn't have anything. I just knew once I got back home to Far Rock, to New York, I was going to start something to help the young people in my community. So that's how GPA was conceptualized. It didn't manifest until like 3, 4 years later when I moved back home to New York, and we could dive into that.
Yeah, that's awesome. And it is awesome because, like you, it's so many other people who had those, visions or
Hmm.
epiphanies when they went through something.
Right.
Myself, I have a homeless um story too, and I feel like that's when, when you sort of kind of hit, I don't want to say really rock bottom. I don't want to say that,
Hmm.
but when you get a chance to actually to see yourself and to see, where you are in life, you
Yeah,
know, that's
definitely.
when you have that clear tunnel vision to, the direction on where you need to go to basically to help others.
For sure.
That's
For sure.
that's why we're here today.
You're able to drown out the noise. You're not
Yep.
distracted by, I got this going on, I got that going on. You are one with yourself and one with your creator, and you're able to hear, you're able to see, you're able to just be still, be silent, and just get life-changing information. So
Yeah.
I'm grateful. I don't regret it. I wouldn't do it again, but I don't regret that moment, that
Yep.
span of time at all.
Yep. Lets you know that the materialistic stuff is just not important at
Yeah.
all.
At the end of the day, it's about what's inside of your soul, what's in your spirit. It's only ultimately going to come out and manifest into something that's powerful, something that's great. Crazy thing is, when I got back to New York, I was going to the store. I was home. I was going to the store, and I ran into a friend of mine, right? And she came to me. She was like, "Yo, Dale, come talk to this boy before I kill him." I said, "Whoa, sis, calm down. Like, what what happened?"
Right.
She had a son at the time. He was like 10 years old. She said, "Talk to him before I kill him." I said, "What happened?" She says, "He's always breaking stuff in my house." And I was like, "Okay, let me find him. Let me talk to him, see what's going on." I found him. I said, "Yo, why are you breaking stuff in your mother's house?" I went off on him. I said, "Do you pay bills in here in your house? Do you buy food? Do you contribute?" Like, I'm going off. I had to catch myself. Like, dang, dude, you wilding on this boy. He was like, nah, Dale, it's not even like this, not even like that. I'm like, "Nick, then tell me what it's like." he,
Right.
I break stuff in my house so I can fix them. I was like, whoa, blew my mind. He would literally take a table apart. piece by piece, take it all apart, just so he can figure out how to put it together. So the way he was wired is in assembly, is in putting things together. I got it. And I said, let me go find mom. I went to mom. I said, you have an engineer on your hands. You have an architect, a construction worker, interior designer, something in that field. That's where he belongs. Because all the things that you're looking at as him breaking stuff, what she saw as, as damage, was actually his process. What she saw was a
Mm.
problem was truly his process, right?
Mm.
How he develops. That's how he processes things. Anything that's torn apart, if he doesn't see it torn apart, he'll tear it apart himself so he can figure out how to put it together. I said, Mom,
Mm.
put him in a school with a strong STEM component. He was in elementary school. So I said, for middle school, we need to find him a school that has some type of engineering, technology, STEM, same thing with high school. And then by the time he's going into college, he has an 8-year portfolio of working in this field already. So guess what's going to happen when he's applying for college? You don't have to pay for colleges. They're going to pay you to
Exactly.
come to their institution because now he's a high commodity.
That's
That
awesome.
was where GPA was like birthed. It was conceptualized in my car in LA like 3-4 years prior to, but it was birthed in that moment. I said, this is it. This conversation is what I want to have with parents and students.
Right. So you said something really monumental. You said what she saw as damage was actually his process.
Yes.
And if we go back, that right there, that line is amazing. And if we go back, with you living in your car,
Right.
even with myself, living with a friend, that we might have maybe for a moment in time seen that as damage, but in reality, that was our process.
Process.
Yeah.
Process. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. That's
So many things,
awesome.
so many things get discovered in a struggle. Like the struggle brings out so many great things, so much creativity. But it's up to someone that's more mature and seasoned to be able to identify it and see that and be like, oh, I understand what that is. Most of
Yes.
our problems, especially in the hood, is we don't understand someone's process because it's not normal, it's not, structured, it's just kind of all over the place. But when someone can identify, oh, I know why he's like that. I know why she's like that. It's because A, B, C, D. Now we're tapping into purpose. But I'll
Right.
go back for the next the next phase.
Yeah. And which goes back to our topic today, which is your pipe dream attainable? Which pipe, we took that from you, but still, is your pipe dream attainable? You know, you're going to go in life, if you want to be a high performance individual, if you are going to follow your innate dreams, your dreams that are internally inside of you, everyone is going to go through something. It might not be homelessness.
Right.
It might have been a health situation. It might have been a loss situation. It could be anything in this world that is a just distraction. And
Right.
what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to push through that distraction so that your dream, your pipe dream, can be
Yeah.
attainable. So I was feeling that right there. So
That's tough.
um so we answered a lot of questions so far. So how do you manage? I know we're gonna get to the book.
Okay.
So I'm gonna ask this question and then we're gonna get to the book.
No problem.
How do you manage being a husband, a father, and an actor, and an author, as well as being a founder of a wonderful organization?
Prayer.
Okay.
That's how I manage all of that. All of that stuff for me, it's not manageable by myself. I can't do that by myself. I need my creator. I need my higher being to, manage this for me. Like it's really through prayer. It's conversations with my wife. My wife is a major supporter,
Yeah.
major component in the stability of our home, my mindset, my organization, my acting, my everything that I do, she's involved in it. She either supports me or just pats me on the back and be like, okay, it's going to be all right. So managing all of those things can be depressing. It can be stressful. Don't let nobody lie to y'all and just say, you can do this, do all that. Yeah, you can. you need a strong support system, and my wife has been that and more. Um, I'm growing into giving everything its own time and its own space. So at one point it was just acting, all acting, 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 acting. I'm tunnel vision. So it's hard for me to like balance and manage. Those are not my strengths. But lo and behold, I married somebody who can multitask. So when she sees, all right, Dale's all over the place, she kind of like helps, bring me in and say, all right, what's most important right now? And I'm like, oh, I think it's this right now. I think it's that right now. She's all right. Let's focus on this. What do you need for that? What do you need for this? So it's important who you connect with.
Right.
Let me say that again. It's important who you connect with. It's important who you date. It's important who you marry. It's important who you get a soul tie with, because that person should have features of your weakness. Where you're weak,
Mm.
your partner should have that strength. And that was a blessing for me. My weakness is, multitasking. I can't do a bunch of things. I can do one or two things extremely well. You put five things on my plate, something's gonna fall off the table. But my wife, you give her 10 things to do. She can do all 10 of those things simultaneously, and it looks amazing.
Yeah.
So that is how I balance all of that. Prayer and my wife.
Yeah, your wife is actually here supporting you. Everything that you're saying now, she's in here telling you she got you and that she loves you. So she's here actually right now too. So that's awesome. And she as well is an entrepreneur. So that's absolutely awesome.
Yeah.
Um, let's get to pipe.
Let's get
Okay, P.I.P.E.
yes, sir.
Let's get to pipe. What does that mean? How did you choose that topic for your book? And yeah, let's start there.
Let's go. Yeah. So pipe and pipe dreams is my curriculum for GPA. That's the curriculum that I've been testing out, that I teach to my young people in the schools for the last 7 years now. 2021. Yeah, this year makes 7 years. Um, it's an acronym for punctuality, integrity, purpose, and excellence.
Mm.
Throughout my experience in San Diego and LA, the whole grind, the whole journey, I've adopted these four principles because I failed in all of those areas. And I've realized those principles, no matter what I want to do, whenever I maintain those, I always accomplish it. I always get it done. So that's what I teach to the young people. Whether you want to be an actor or an astronaut, whether you want to be a doctor or a dentist, whatever you want to do, if you adopt these four principles, you learn how to be on time. Say it again. You learn how to be on time.
On time,
Right? Punctuality. That
punctuality.
because until you own your own business and create your own schedule, you always be on somebody else's time.
That's
And
right.
you have to respect that. You have to value that. Two, integrity. Like, who are you? What are your codes? What are your morals, your ethics, your values? You stick to that, because any industry that you're a part of, right? They have their own codes, they have their own integrity, they have their own standards, right? And you're liable to, flip flop based on who you're around. One of the major things with integrity is, and this is such a deep topic, is that so many people change based off who they're around. When they're with this group, they act one way. When they're with that group, they act another. It's like, bro, who are you? Sis, who are you? Can we get the purest version of you? And when you understand integrity, you always demonstrate you in your essence. It's self-discovery. So yeah, that's the second one: integrity, knowing who you are, sticking to your guns, sticking to who you are as a person, as a growing human being. Number three, purpose.
Purpose.
I mean, I can't say much more about purpose. We know the purpose of a table is to put things on. We know the purpose of a chair is for us to sit on. We know the purpose of, social media is to interact with the world. We know the purpose of the laptop, the light, we know the purpose of everything. But when I start asking people, what is your purpose? Crickets. That's most of humanity. We know the purpose of everything but ourselves. Why were you created? And that's something that I believe is strong, is important for us to find out, because the day you
Yes.
find out why you were born is the day you truly start living. It's the day you
Yes.
truly, start living. We say this term, living my best life. You can't live your best life if you don't know why your life was created in the first place.
That's a word. Yes.
So, purpose. And then lastly, excellence. I learned this the hard way. Excellence is just a standard of doing things, right? The top of the top, the best of the best, whatever you're going to do. Excellence doesn't always have to be expensive. I learned that it does. I used to think for me to do things the way I want to do it, I need a lot of money. I need to make sure. But no, if I wanted to have a party right now, yeah, in my eyes, I need white linen tablecloths. I need beautiful chandeliers. I need this. But being that I don't have that, I'm in the hood somewhere. Okay, I can go to a 99-cent store and get me some plastic white tablecloths and wipe down the table to the best of my ability. Put it on there. Get some, some gold plated plate. Like I can make it into something that's excellent
Right.
on my level. So the excellence is a mindset. It's a standard of saying, I'm not just going to hand in anything. When I talk to my students, I'm like, even with your papers, stop handing it in with doggy ears and crumble up. No, even if you're wrong, your presentation can give you a 5 to 10 point bump on your grade alone. So
Yes.
excellence is the standard of doing things. It says, this is the bar. This is this is, the bar that I'm setting, and I'm not doing anything below this. The beauty of excellence is not the competition with others. It's that competition within you. Can you beat your last best? Can you do it better than the last time you did it? Excellence is a mindset. So punctuality, integrity, purpose, and excellence. That's what P.I.P.E.
Yeah. So going like talking about integrity really quickly. I remember being in high school and one of my teachers said to me, integrity is if you don't want a parent to know, don't do it. If you
Mhm.
don't want it illustrated on the front, the front page of a newspaper, don't do it. So I actually utilized that one little
That's
quote that I got from her and took that everywhere, I go. It's like, okay, I'm not going to do this because I'm kind of scared of someone basically finding out that I'm doing it, kind of
powerful.
keeps you in line.
Of
And
course.
then jumping past purpose, talking about excellence, being an entrepreneur is all about quality.
Yes.
It's all about quality. You know, I say this all the time. You remember going to school and, you had your salutatorians, you had your valedictorians, whether
Right.
you might have been that. But if you weren't that, if you was the B student, the C student, the D student, if you was that, you know, you actually have to be a salutatorian and valedictorian of your life
Mm.
in order to be a high performance individual. Being an entrepreneur is really, I mean, it looks great.
Talk, sis. Talk that talk. That's real.
Yeah, it looks great, but it's a lot of work that goes into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of work that actually goes into it. So
Right.
I just wanted to point that out. So now you took pipe
Hmm.
and you decided to that you just which is the four elements that you teach your students, and you took it, you say, you know what, I'm gonna utilize this for my book.
Hmm.
So I know, I think I want you to talk about how you said that. I was going to ask you, did you always know you would write a book?
No. No, absolutely not. Like this was not something that was always in the plans. Writing was never, something I always saw myself doing. Like if I was gonna write anything, for me, I thought it would be a script or a play or something I've done like that in the past. I've written a play before. Writing a book didn't even cross my mind until I started, GPA, until I was in the classrooms and doing the work. And so back to Pipe itself, it's powerful because before I even break down the acronym to the students, I tell them, when you see the word pipe, understand every building you go into, every institution, every structure, whether it's a business, whether it's a home, whether it's a school, within the walls, right? Within the walls is something called pipes. And in those pipes, they contain something that's valuable that we all need.
Yes.
Water. We all need water. It's valuable. But when you need water, you need access to water. You're not just gonna bust open the walls and take a hammer and bust the pipe wide open. No, what do? You go to the faucet. That's what I tell the kids. That's what I'm here to do in these classes. I'm here to just open up your faucet because you have
Mm.
something valuable inside of you that your community needs, that your family needs, that this world needs. The problem is you got so many walls put up, no one ever gets to see what's inside of you.
I
And it's
like
not
that.
your fault. And it's not even your fault that you got your walls up. We talk,
Mm-mm.
that's another conversation. Survival has made everybody, all of us, have our walls up. So from that, all we do is survive. All we do is
Yes.
all we do is protect each other. And the best of us, the essence of us, the elements that we were made to share with the world never comes out because we're so focused on survival. So that's the first thing I tell them before I even break down what the core values are. Then we get into the core values. So this is how the book came about. All of this that I'm talking about tonight is this is what the workshops look like before we get started. So within the workshop,
Mm.
we do acting. You've been there, acting, dance, music. We do all of those different things. But these core values is what we do. For they have to get this first before they jump into whatever field they want to work on. So with these conversations, the students will always ask me, "Yo, Mr. Dale, this sounds like something I would hear in a book. Like, was this in the book?" I'd be like, "Nah, this is I didn't get this from no book. This is just me sharing my experience with you." "Oh, okay, you should write a book." I mean, all of my students, "Mr. Dale, you should write a book. Mr. Dale, you should write." And then the staff, the teachers, because I always have to have a teacher present. Almost every teacher, "Mr. Dale," the Caribbean teachers are the ones that bless me. "Mr. Dale, you need to write a book, Mr." Like with such passion. And
Right.
it was constant. Every workshop, every semester, every contract, somebody's telling me, faculty, staff, director, you need to write a book because this experience you're sharing, not just the students need to hear this. Many adults need these principles as well. Those who are
Yes.
stuck in a job that they don't like, they really didn't pursue their purpose. They need to hear this. So I kept hearing it, but that little voice in the back of your head, like, "You're not no author. You're not an author. That's not what you do." Like I had mental wars. "Dale, you're not an author. That's not you." I would see it. I can see it like actually manifesting, but those conversations within myself, that inner me, "You're not an author. You're not an author. You're not an author." Until one day I was with one of my many jobs, I was driving Uber. I was
Mm-hmm.
doing Uber and I was picking up a passenger and I had an idea for GPA. I had a bunch of ideas. Let me say I had like 15 different things that came at once. And I was like,
Right.
"Oh shoot." But I'm driving, so I couldn't write them down. I couldn't put them in my notes. So I
Right.
said, "All right, once I drop off the passenger, I'm gonna turn the Uber app off and then I'm gonna write them down." I dropped the passenger off and I'm ready to write. And I'm like, I forgot 99% of everything that I just thought of. And I was like, you have no idea. If you came to me at that point and you just touched my neck or you would feel I was piping hot. Like, are you kidding me? Because they were really good ideas. It was in that moment that I said, you know what? If I put all this stuff in a book, it's always available.
Yes.
Never run out of it. It was in that moment where I decided. I remembered everyone that told me I need to write a book. It kept playing in the students, the staff, the faculty, friends. Said, "All right, I think I'm gonna write a book." I called the homie. I have one of my sisters. She's an editor, and
Uh-huh.
I said, "Hey, I think I'm gonna write that book on pipe dream." So, "Nigga, I'm waiting for you. Like, let's go." So that's how it started. That was a year and a half ago. That was the
That's
journey.
awesome. So yeah, so that was going to be my next question. How long did it actually take to write the book? And you said a year and a half.
It took a year and a half because
Wow.
and what's crazy about that is I'm learning more about myself like the last 2 years. I can't do things just on, okay, I have to do it right now. It has to flow. It took a year and a half because there were just moments where it just wasn't flowing. I try to like recap I
Right.
did my best to put the workshops into the book, the classroom experience into the book.
Right.
Moments where I was forcing it, I would read the whole page and be like, "What? No, that's not," and I have to erase it. It wasn't until it flowed naturally that I can write. So there were some days where I wrote two sentences, literally just two sentences, and
Right.
two sentences was better than a whole page of something that I forced. So I just had to let it come when the inspiration came, and I would just write from there. And that's why I took, a year and a half.
That's actually awesome, because sometimes people would say, "Oh wow, I want to write a book. Um, I don't know how to get started.
Right.
Where do I start? I'm gonna just write the whole book right now. Oh dang, but I have writer's block." So he's proof that if you just, it doesn't matter if you write down a few words a day. If writing a book is honestly your dream, then just be forward, move, have forward movement in it. Don't go idle. Actually just keep
Right.
going and never give up. He said it took him a year and a half. There's people that took way longer. There's people that did it in shorter time. But
Right.
he never gave up. And he brought us a wonderful book to help inspire us and to awaken the true person and the true soul that we are honestly supposed to be here. So
Definitely.
thank you for that.
Thank you. Thank you.
So I have a question regarding the book.
Where's
So the question that I have is,
I'm nervous.
checking out my notes.
Where's this?
Okay, so on page 32, you talk about forgive and foreclose.
Woo! Man.
Forgive and
Yeah.
foreclose. And when I read that, I was like, wow, where is he about to go with this? Because just reading that, it just was like, wow. It's-
Yeah.
wow.
Crazy.
Right. So you talk about, protecting your space.
Hmm.
You talk about, as you decide to, make these changes in your life, that you're going to have to shed some skin. You're going to have to let a
Yeah.
few people go.
Right.
You also talk about, in order to be a healthy contributor, that's what you said, a healthy contributor on your journey. You have to be prepared. So things that you have to be prepared for with being an entrepreneur. These are the 5 things that I wanted to say. And, you said doors being shut in your face.
Hmm.
You said people telling you no.
Get used to
That
it.
was a big one for me because I used to hate being told no, or
Right.
being scared of rejection, or
Right.
3, less talented individuals getting the opportunities you feel you deserve. 4, is it okay if I read? Actually, is it okay if I
Oh,
read? Okay. 4, working to maintain a steady income while climbing the unstable ladder of your industry.
unstable.
And 5, so many other challenges that are just out of our control.
Right.
Can you talk about that?
Where to
Because
start?
that's everything. Those are going to be the distractions,
Yeah.
and those are going to be, the bumps and bruises that you're going to go through if you want to be a high performance individual.
Right.
Okay.
Anywhere, in on any level in any industry. So let's start with forgive and foreclose. Just that whole section, right there. Um, it's important to, like you said, I put in the book, you have to protect your space. It took me a while to comprehend and understand this is my space. Like this,
Yes.
I have to protect this, not my family can't protect it, my culture can't protect it, my church can't protect it, my parents can't protect it, my wife can, nobody can protect this space. And when I say the space, it's the mental space of being creative, of pursuing passion, pursuing dreams. Because as you grow and develop, you understand like your mentality is important, your mental health is important. Most of the times when we quit something is because we just became burdened and overwhelmed with the process, where it's just like emotionally
Yes.
draining. I can't do this anymore. So to help avoid that, I say forgive and foreclose, because it's usually the people around us. The more you grow into who you're supposed to be, the smaller your circle is going to become, because the people who once knew you, how you used to be, what you once were, they can't understand this new person. And
Yes.
them is, oh, you acting brand new. You acting bougie. Who she thinks she is, who he thinks he is. Oh, you different now. Yes, I'm different. You want me to be the same person I am at 32 that I was at 16? It's impossible.
It's impossible.
So that, like, it's the people around you, you're gonna realize everyone can't process your purpose. Everyone can't they don't understand it. They just don't get it. You now have to be okay with, do I want to maintain these relationships? Is it more important to keep these people in my life or to keep pursuing my purpose, pursuing going after what I see? Because the thing about
Right.
vision is you're the only one that see it. Vision is not visible. Let me say that again.
Woo!
Vision is not visible. You're the only one that see it. They can't see it. And so the reason why I say forgive is you have to be in a space where you're like, I understand it. And to you, I understand, you just don't understand. It's okay. What I'm going to do is shut this space. We're not going to hang out as much. We're not going to talk on the phone as much. We're not going to do all these things as much because we're in two different spaces. And although it hurt, because it will hurt you. The words they will
Yes.
hurt you. Like, what you doing? You always talking about this business. You always talking about the, mind you, they don't see it. You always doing this. And you're, what is that? Like, they don't understand. You see the end result, and that hurts. You have to find it within yourself to forgive them for their ignorance. They
Yeah.
don't know. So that's where the forgiving factor comes in, to where whether parents, whether it's friends, whoever it is, that relationship, you have to come to a place where you can forgive them for the pain they've inflicted on you, and have a true conversation of, this is where I'm at. I'm not there anymore. This is what I want to do, but I love you anyway. And the foreclosure, if you know anything about foreclosure, I learned this in my days in Cali. So in the book, I lived at about 7 or 8 different addresses in California. Like, I was bouncing around. If it was a rent, it was so many different factors. One of the places we stayed in, me and my teammates, we was in a house that got into foreclosure, and we had to pack our things and leave. When they changed those locks and we couldn't get in the door, that's when I understood what foreclosure was. Somebody else, has
Ooh.
taken over this property and you no longer have access. I didn't have access to a place where I've been sleeping for the last, year and a half, or whatever the case may be. That's what foreclosure is. You have the power to deny access to someone who's unable to pay the bills. So the people in your life, they pay rent in your space. Your friends, your family, they pay rent in your space. How do they pay rent? They contribute, they support you, they increase your network. Whatever it is that they do to contribute to what you're doing, that's them paying rent. So you have the power and the authority to foreclose and evict anybody who's no longer paying rent to your purpose. That's where you get to forgive and foreclose. You no longer have access to this new space that I'm in, because now I have to make room for somebody who's able to pay that rent, who's able to contribute, who's able to give me the things that I need. And it's not just monetary. It's just saying, hey, what do you need? Can I give y'all a good example? A perfect
Yes.
example right now is this queen that I'm talking to right here. Because in that space of being kicked out of my place, I called so many people. All I needed was like $200 to be able to stay where I was. I called mad people. I called people that I thought. So my house was the party house. Everybody came at my house. We partied. People drank. People who were too drunk to go home used to always sleep on my couch. Our crib was the spot. All those people, they was like, nah, bro, I ain't got it. I can't help you. I can't help you. I'm scrolling
Mm.
my phone, and I forgot I had her number. I saw TT. I saw the name TT. I said, we ain't spoke since we graduated high school. I don't think she's gonna answer. I didn't think she's gonna answer the phone. I didn't even know her number was still the same. So when I called, she answered. That was the first shock. It's like, hey, what's up? What's up? What's up? Small talk. But I had to shoot straight to her. I said, yo, I'm embarrassed even asking this, but I need $200 to stay in the space that I'm in. She said, okay, give me information. I'll send it to you right now. What? Y'all have no idea what that did for me in that space. So that is a prime example. You have to make room for people who can pay rent in your space, who can contribute to your space. Forgive and foreclose. Let those people go. If they're not contributing to your purpose, they're just going to contribute to your problems. So let them go, forgive and foreclose, and do what you need to do.
Man, my head is spinning. You dropped so many gems.
That all of that is, I didn't read that. No, I lived that. That was legit experience. I said, you remember that phone call? You remember that conversation?
Yeah,
Like,
I
I
did,
never
but
forget it. I never
um,
forget it.
when you, I don't know if I gave you the whole thing. I know I gave you probably half of it, but I don't really remember. But some people live in your heart. Some people you know them. We've been friends for a long time, so it doesn't matter how what distance comes in between that.
Right.
If they need you, they need you. You got to be there for them. But I do want to say you dropped so many gems. I told y'all better have your notebooks and you better have your pens out.
Talk. Let's talk.
Okay. Um, I just want to go to the vision is not visible. That right there, that's awesome. You know, with the forgive and foreclose. A lot of times
Yeah.
you may feel if you are, you have dreams inside of you.
Right.
You know that there's other things that you want to do,
Right.
but you start draining your energy by telling everybody, yeah, I'm gonna do this,
Right.
I'm gonna do that.
Right.
And yeah, just wait. Next week, I'm gonna buy my website. I'm
Right.
gonna sell these clothes. I'm gonna do whatever it is. And sometimes you get frustrated because you realize, like you said, people don't believe in you. And it's not that they really don't believe in you. It's that one, they don't see it, and two, they don't believe in themselves.
Right. Right.
So that vision is not visible. Oh my
And
God.
that's where the forgiveness has to come in on you. If you, everybody watching this, if you ever become bold enough to go to therapy, you will learn forgiveness is not for the other person. It's for you. It's to
Yeah.
allow you to keep moving. It's to allow you to, keep, doing what you do. When I say vision is not visible, that's what you have to remember. Because what we would start doing is, oh, y'all not trying to help me. Y'all ain't down with me. Y'all ain't this, y'all ain't that.
Yeah.
Hold on, relax. Take a minute and realize you're the only one that see your baby the way you do.
Yes.
When you are when a woman is pregnant, the only time you see what that child looks like is through the sonogram.
Yes.
But the mother, before you even developed the belly, you know that baby is inside of you. So now you're gonna be mad because nobody else can. It's like you coming to somebody, you don't know I'm pregnant. No, you're not showing yet. If you're not, until you start showing, no one knows that you're carrying something.
Right.
Until you start showing, that's what vision is.
Ooh.
Your spirit, the moment you had that glimpse, it's like my Denzel on the red carpet story. When I used to tell that story back in the days, it's like, what are you talking about, bro? Like, people
Right.
comprehend that. You see it, so it's on you to run with it. Don't put those expectations on people. You have a few people where you can trust that kind of information with, and they'll either say, okay, let me know where I can help, or they'll give you the, what's that, like, what you doing, who you think you are, type of thing, because it's not even their fault. We're all wired for survival. So
Right.
anyone with the mentality of a survivalist cannot take on the burden of an entrepreneur.
Yes.
All you're trying to do is survive. By nature, naturally, you're just trying to survive. All survivalists know is a 9 to 5. If it's not punching in the clock, if it's not a steady they don't understand that.
They don't
They had
understand.
to learn it's not their fault. I
Mm-mm.
held so much unforgiveness in my heart for years for people who didn't support me in the beginning, even my own family. I had to go to the place where it's like, oh my God, it's not their fault. I got to forgive them because vision is not visible. They couldn't see what I saw.
Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome. So where can we get this book? Because
So,
I know everyone is thinking the same thing.
sure, for sure. So, Pipe Dreams. The book is called Pipe Dreams: Principles to Live What You Love. The book will be released Sunday, February 21st.
Ooh,
Sunday, February 21st. It's only a couple weeks from now. It'll be available everywhere books are sold. Go get your copy. You can pre-order your copy right now. Right now, it's only available through my website, dayoolatoken.com. That's my first and last name.com. You can pre-order and reserve your copy right now, today.
right now,
You can't get it
today.
on Amazon and Barnes and Noble. You can't get it anywhere else right now, but on my website if you pre-order. But on the 21st, it's going to be available everywhere.
Wow. So let me ask you, do you ever feel like quitting?
Yes. I'm gonna
Yes.
say that with a straight face. Yes, there are days where I feel like quitting. There are days where I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. I'd rather be normal. I'd rather get a regular job and feed my family and support my wife. I'd rather do that. And those are the days where I know, yeah, I just quit mentally. Society has lied to me, has lied to us for years. Never quit. If you ever feel like you're quitting, then you've already quit. No, that's a lie. It's a process. In my head, I've become overwhelmed at this moment where I feel I can't do it anymore. So what do I need? Inspiration to keep going.
Yes.
I need inspiration, to keep moving. So have I wanted to quit? Plenty of times. When you live in your car, you have plenty of moments where you want to quit because peanut butter and
Right.
jelly is only good for so many months. I ate peanut butter and jelly for 6 months. What else can I put in my car? I can't buy eggs. I can't buy frozen goods. That's what can sit in the trunk of my car and be preserved. So yeah, plenty of moments where I wanted to quit. But the truth is, when you are pregnant with purpose, you cannot abort it if you wanted to. No matter how many times you try to abort your vision, you can't do it because guess what? It's not visible. It's not physical. Every
Yes.
time I've said I'm done, I don't want to do this no more. I don't want to be an actor no more. I don't want to be in. Guess what happens? Okay, cool. Got to be like, all right, and then I'll watch a scene from a movie somewhere, or I'll hear some type of music. Anytime you see a reflection of you, it wakes you back up.
So with that, I want to say that that's true because like you said, you can't abort it. It's so real that sometimes you may have a dream, a goal, something that you want to do,
Mhm.
and what God would do is actually bring it so close to you. He will
So
bring another person doing it,
right,
and then that's another distraction you have to deal with because you're like, oh man, like this person is doing it.
right,
how they doing it before me,
right.
and then you're going through other emotions. So that is definitely a word. We do have some people on here that are already pre-ordering their book, so that is
Great.
awesome.
Thank you.
Once again, that's dayoolatoken.com. It's in the comments. We actually have it up here on the screen. Jamel says that he need his sign.
I got you, bro. I got you.
So
Definitely.
we definitely gotta do a book signing, hopefully
Oh,
soon.
yeah, the book signing happening February 21st. I'm having my book signing, and due to COVID, the venue is limited to the amount of people that can physically come.
Right.
But the book signing will be streamed live. So when you go to my website, dayoolatoken.com, you see how to, you'll be able to watch it live, so you'll be a part of the experience. And
Right.
those
That's
who have
awesome.
already pre-ordered and can't, physically come, I'm mailing out your copies to you. It'll be signed, so it'll be like you were at the event yourself.
Yeah, that's so awesome. We will be in the building too. Don't give up. Um, so Kiana says, don't give up. Keep going. You're going in the right direction. That's
Thank
awesome.
you, Kiana. I appreciate that. Thank you. So yeah,
So
let me just jump on that. Like
yeah,
people, let's be honest with ourselves. Yes, we got to be mentally tough. We got to be, the streets, the hood taught us to, always be tough and never quit, never good. And I understand there's a place for that, but sometimes you have to be honest with yourself and say you got to be your own therapist. Sometimes, like I can't do this anymore. I can't do, and so you just releasing that, getting it out of your system Trust me, God is going to bring it right back to you. Whatever your industry is, you're going to see. There's a section in the book where I talk about soul power. Your
Mm.
soul will always scream when it sees a reflection of itself. So whatever you were meant to do as an act, for me, it's acting. So whenever I see some good performances and I've quit, I just get, it wakes me like, Dale, you know good and well you can do that. You know good, and it revitalizes me. It serves like a jumper cable, for my battery, and I'm back to it again. Whatever it
Yeah.
is, if you're a lawyer, if you're whatever your thing is, your soul will always wake up when it sees a reflection of itself. So yeah, you will have, let me say it, you will have moments where you want to quit.
Yeah.
It's okay. Don't let nobody bash you for it or condemn you for it. The key is you need a good support system, and you need to listen to that voice, your soul, when it screams and sees a reflection of itself. That's your reboost right there to get back on the wagon.
Yeah. And for those of you who are saying, well, I looked around, I don't have a good support system. That's where you want to go back. You want to go get this book, and you definitely want to read page 32, where he talks about forgive and foreclosure, and you want to begin to align yourself with those people. So you
Yeah.
want to go out and find, where do those people live? Where those, if even if you want to write a book, how can I align myself with people who've written a book, authors, other people who are on that same vibration.
You will
Um,
attract the support system you need.
yeah,
Always attract it. You don't have to go, where do they live? You will always attract the support that you need. Yeah,
yes,
that's real.
yes, yes. That's a fact. Um, so let me ask you,
Oh,
do you have any fears?
hell yeah.
Well,
Like,
what's your greatest
yes.
fear? What's your greatest fear?
My greatest fear. Oh my gosh. My greatest fear is being normal.
Mm,
It's my great. I can't. When I can't like I can't do it. That the norm, the average, just going to a job just to pay bills, working at a 9 to 5 just to survive. The whole keeping your head above water mentality. That's my biggest fear. Doing that for the rest of my life. I tried it. I read a post. Somebody posted this one time on Instagram that said, "I tried to be normal work once. It was the worst 2 minutes of my life." And I read it. I was like, ah, like that's me. That right there. That's it. I can't do it. That's my biggest fear. To the place where I break down enough to where I'm like, I just want to be normal. And I've done it. I've quit and tried to. And guess what happens? The purpose just keeps coming back. My gifts keep coming back. And
yeah,
before I knew it, I started a business, started a company, and being in movies, and it just fell into place. Thank God.
yeah.
So yeah, I got fears for sure.
Mm. So, if your greatest fear is being normal, how do
Mhm.
you define success?
The thing that you see, when your vision becomes tangible, right? When what you saw in your spirit, in your mind, in your, when the vision becomes tangible, you can touch it, you can feel, that's success to me. You
Mm.
you got it. What was invisible is now visible. And on top of that, when you get there, if when you're mature enough to not look at the people who didn't help you and be like, I told you. No, be mature enough to be like, come, let me show you how to do this.
Yeah.
I show you how to do this.
I
let me
show you
show
how to do this,
let,
son.
let me. It's like, if you read scriptures like Joseph in the Bible, when his brothers betrayed him and dang near try to send him for dead. He becomes the second highest person in Egypt, and when there was a famine, his whole family came, not knowing who, where he's rose to, and he took care of everybody. They
Mm.
tried to kill him, and instead of that, he's like, nah, you meant it for evil. God meant it for my good. Let me take care of every. That is success to me. You can look back and be like, I still got you.
Mm. So, with that being said, do you have any last advice for someone who wants to be an actor, someone who wants to be an author,
Hmm.
for someone who may want to be a founder or an entrepreneur.
Hmm.
Do you have you drop so much advice? I don't even know, but do you do you have anything else? Like if they're saying, I'm down, I don't have no support, I don't have no one to help. What would
Mhm.
be your advice to them, your final advice to them?
You see, all of those things that you mentioned, actor, author, entrepreneur, whatever, everything else,
Founder.
founder, you have to be crazy to do all of those things. My advice to somebody, would be
Husband, father, sorry.
go get a job and just be normal and just, to save yourself the madness, right? Just save yourself the insanity, the madness of just this whole lifestyle. But to that, I'll add, when you pursue it, the moment they start to question your sanity, you know you're on the right track. When people close to you start to quit, like she's bugging, but you just got confirmation that you are on the right track.
Mm.
So to anyone that wants to be an actor, an author, something that the world, everyone calls impossible, they don't see. Trust you're crazy.
Trust you're
Trust
crazy.
you're crazy. Your insanity is a blessing. Trust me. Follow that, and you will attract the support system that you need. Like I said, I had no idea, Taisha was gonna pull me out from that pit that day. I had no clue. And till this day, we're inseparable.
Yeah.
Like that's like nobody. I don't. That's not my friend. This is my sister.
Yeah.
Because I was crazy enough to go to Cali and pursue that against the wishes of my father, against the wishes of my culture, against everything that was saying that was normal. I went against that, and guess what? I created a support system for my decision. You will create a support system from you making a crazy decision. It's so
Mm. Trust you're crazy.
trust
Shout
us.
out to Kanye.
We're
So
gonna keep it
thank
simple.
you. I can't thank you enough. I can't thank you
Absolutely.
enough. Thank you
Absolutely.
so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Yes, if you like what you see, if you like what you heard, I'm going to put it back on the screen. And if for those that are listening on Spotify and Apple Music, please go to dayoolatoken.com. That's DAYOOLATOKUN.com. And please order this book. I'm telling you, it will change your life. I hope this interview has changed your life. I hope that has pushed you and has given you a push and told you that if you true and you really want to live your dream, that you have no excuse. Okay? You have no excuse. So thank you once again for blessing us. If you like what you see, please go over to Society of Bosses on all platforms and like us, follow us, listen to us. We are a visual and digital podcast. So I love you very much. Thank you for blessing me,
I love it. You're
blessing us. The
always
comments have been going crazy since you started to talk, and we wish you all the best. We want you to come back soon.
you. Absolutely.
Okay,
Anytime.
we want you to come
Anytime.
back soon, and we want you to share more of your winnings with us. And hopefully, a lot of us who have watched this or listened to this, hopefully, a lot of us have won as well.
For sure. Thank you, sis.
Yes. So also remember that the book signing will be digital. You can go back over to dayaolatoken.com to watch that. And we hope that we inspired and we hope that we've transformed you just a little bit.
No doubt.
So good night, everyone.
Love y'all. Peace.
Peace.